Hi everyone, thank you for joining our webinar on Welcome Business Vision Customers, presented by BAASS Business Solutions. My name is Pradeep Kushwaha and I am the part of the marketing team at BAASS. I would like to cover a few housekeeping rules before the webinar begins. All attendees will be muted during the duration of the webinar. If you have a question, please type into the chat or question box. We will answer the question at the appropriate time. Please ensure your headphones are plugged in and the volume is turned up on your computer. If you are having any technical issues, please write into our chat box and we will do our best to assist. Now, I would like to introduce our webinar presenters today, Chuck Jerome, Vice President of Business Development.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our presentation on all things business vision. And it's nice to be able to speak to so many of you, many clients that have been using the business vision solution for such a great deal of time, and probably some of you that have been only using it for the last few years. So today's presentation, we're going to cover off a number of different things. Again, because of your various experience, we want to make sure we kind of cover off the state of the nation of business vision so that you know what where the application is at from Sage's perspective, how you can go about getting support for your application, how you can get upgrades done, or even if you're considering a Sage or a migration away from the Sage business solution. So we'll start with talking about BAASS Business Solution, our firm, and how we can best serve your organization. And then we'll go into the details that I mentioned earlier. And then along with myself, I have two guest presenters today. From Spire Systems, we have Katie Griffin, who's the Director of Business Development, and also Danielle Kerner, who's the Manager of Partner Sales from Acumatica. And these two ladies are going to take us through presentations on their two specific systems that if you are considering a migration from Business Vision to a new modern financial management or ERP system, these are some of the options that are available for you. And at the completion of our presentation today, we will go through answering any questions that you may have. And we just ask that if you do have some questions, just simply type them in the chat box at the bottom, and then we'll answer those for you at the end of the presentation. So just to give you an introduction to our firm, who are we? And some of you may, of course, have worked with us before, and we've provided you with support on your Sage Business Vision system. And some of you may be new to our organization. So BAASS Business Solutions is a Sage solution provider. And what that means is we've been trained and certified on the Business Vision application to be able to provide you with implementation and support services. And as a company, we've been doing just this for Business Vision and a number of different applications for our clients over the past 35 years. We started off as a company providing basic management consulting and public accounting services, and that evolved into the provision of systems implementation services. We now support over 5,000 clients using Sage solutions across Canada and the United States. So having done over 5,000 implementations, we certainly understand what works and what doesn't work. And through that experience, we put together a very structured methodology that allows us to be able to allow you to add on any additional capabilities to your system, or even move to a new system to be able to meet the growing and ever-changing needs of your organization. It's also allowed us to put together a great deal of best practices and, of course, industry experience of having worked providing services for clients that for that long. And we do that through a team of 140 professionals. These are people that come really from all walks of life. Many of them are CPAs with strong financial backgrounds. Others are industry specialists, having worked in operations for different industries as well. And of course, we have our technical people that allow us to provide assistance in the management of your technical environment, your servers, operating systems, workstations, all of those things that are going to impact the performance of your accounting and your ERP system. But another thing that the time and the team sizes has allowed us to do is put together specialized teams in many different practices. So whether you need assistance in financial reporting, business intelligence, or dashboards, we have a team of people that do that. Should you have a sales team or marketing team that needs customer relationship management or simply process management, we can assist in those areas as well. Or maybe it's just basic support services that you require to continue to maintain the daily operation of your system and providing upgrades of the system so that you're on a compatible and reliable version of the system. Our team is here to be able to do that for you. And this fact, our team speaks over 24 languages, so we dare any of our clients to come up with one that we wouldn't be able to support you with. But our service team is vast in its capabilities. As I meant, not only supporting the system, but we have a development team of over 20 people that allow us to be able to produce custom applications, integrations between different applications, all of these to basically provide you with a one-stop shop for all services that you would need around your BV system, or should you decide that you want to migrate to a different system. So let's take a look at where Sage Business Vision is at right at the moment and kind of what's on the roadmap for the product. You may have recently received this notification in the mail by Sage that they will be ending support for versions 2018 and 2019 by March the 31st in 2024. And the reason being is that Sage supports the current version and typically 2 previous versions to the application. It's just too costly to be able to manage support for all of the different versions that have been released. So Sage, as of March 31st, will stop support for 2018 and 19, and at that point in time, 2024 will have been released for a couple of months. The 2024 release of the software is going to include compatibility for such things as Windows 11. So if you're buying new machines today, then you're probably getting Windows 11 operating system on those. So if you want it to work with your Sage system, you'll need to upgrade to the 2024 version itself. It also provides compatibility with the new Windows Server 2022 and Microsoft Excel 64-bit version. So if you are using the 64-bit version of Microsoft Office, this will provide you with compatibility there. And important to keep in mind that if you're not on a current supported version of the software, you run the risk of a number of different things. One, of course, Sage being able to provide you with support on the application, meaning there still can be software bugs in the application, or certainly there can be security holes in the application that exist due to the ever-changing situation with people trying to penetrate these systems itself. And certainly from the standpoint of payroll, if you're using that, you need to be on a supported version to be able to maintain current tax tables in the system. So again, 2024 being released in January, 2018 and 19, the support will end the following March. So if you are in a situation where you do require an upgrade, we ask that you reach out to our organization a number of different ways. If you're already working with one of our account managers, reach out to them. And if not, and you want to get aligned with somebody in our company, you can go to our Contact Us page on our website, and that's at BAASS.com/contact us, and simply fill out a very short form and just request that somebody reach out to you because you need a Business Vision upgrade for that. For us to give you a proposal on how to do that, we need to complete a quick review of your environment just to confirm any items that may impact the scope of that particular project. It's a very quick process, but allows us to be very accurate in the quote that will provide you to it. Now, you are, of course, if you're paying maintenance for your software assurance, like for Business Vision, then you'll have your software components available to you at no charge under that agreement. But there is a technical upgrade process required, which requires the installation, the update of the database, and data conversion. And that's where we as a company can help you with that process. So simply reach out to us and we can provide you with a quote on that. But if you just simply need support, their system's working well, you don't need to do upgrades, you're not needing to change, then you can certainly reach out to us at any time to our help desk for us to provide you with support should anything happen with your system. There's 3 different ways you can contact us. One at baass.com/support, or you can email us at support@baass.com, or give us a call. Either way, we need details as to what the issue is, because we will triage your support request and we will have the right person reach back out to you to be able to provide you with support. Our preferred method, of course, is if you go to our website, fill out the page there, we'll ask you a few quick questions, and then we'll be able to reach back out to you. You can also indicate if it's an urgent issue, so we make sure that you get priority at that point in time. Now, should your Sage Business Vision system not be meeting the needs of your business, you're not looking to upgrade, and you are considering a change, again, this is where we can help you out as well. So we deal with helping clients overcome these challenges, either within the applications themselves that you have, or by considering a change to a different application. So whether you have poor reporting out of the box, or you don't like the reporting tools that come with it, and you're doing a lot of offline reporting, these are other challenges that we can help you with. Automation, lack of automation, accounts payable workflow, right? Accounts receivable automation as well. If you want to, reduce the number of days required for collection of fees, all of this type of automation exists in other applications that we have and are available to you. You may be working with a number of different systems in your organization, but none of them are integrated to your accounting and ERP system. Well, this is where our development team can help you in integrating to a more modern financial management system. Whether it's compliance, business model changes, whatever the challenge that you may have, we can help you overcome that. Now, just to give you some insight as to the various applications that we do support, under the Sage portfolio of products, beyond Business Vision, we also support Sage 300, 100 Contractor, X3, and Intact. And to give you a sense, Sage 300 is an on-premise application that can also be hosted in the cloud, but it is a application that's been around for a long time, but can provide financial assistance or operational management for companies in either nonprofit type businesses or service-based or product type businesses. And product, what I mean is wholesale distribution or manufacturing. Sage 100 Contractor, fairly self-explanatory with respect to the construction business itself. Sage X3 is more positioned to companies requiring advanced distribution or manufacturing requirements in discrete or process manufacturing. And then Sage Intact is Sage's true software as a service cloud application, well positioned to help companies that are nonprofit, First Nation, or service-based businesses like wealth management, financial services, hospitality, or just simply general businesses requiring a modern financial management system. And beyond the Sage portfolio, we also implement and support the Spire system and the Acumatica, the cloud ERP system. And so this is where I'm going to bring our guests in today. And our first guest is Katie Griffin. And Katie, again, is the Director of Business Development with Spire Systems. And I'm going to turn the presentation over to Katie to talk to us about Spire.
Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate that. It's so nice to be working with the folks at BAASS here. So because I only have a short 10 minutes, let's get this show on the road. So my name is Katie Griffin. I'm the Director of Business Development here at Spire. As Chuck said, I have been in the accounting, software, and business management industry for about 20 years now. Time does fly, as so does this presentation. So a little bit about Spire. If you haven't heard from us or about us, we are a Canadian-based company. Our headquarters are in Columbia, and Spire was founded by two industry veterans, Al Romaine, our CEO, our COO, Peter Reimer. And we're also the developers of a popular little add-on to BV that some of you might have heard of called BV Essentials. And I get the opportunity to work with such an amazing team. Some of us work remotely, some of us are in the office, but with technology being what it is today, we all get to work together. We're progressive, dedicated, and I'm not just saying this, I really, really enjoy working with the people that I work with. And we are also a progressive company in terms of what our mission is and wanting to be able to provide an affordable solution for small, medium-sized businesses and meet their challenges that you guys are facing on a day-to-day basis, staying contemporary, staying competitive, and most of all, providing a high level of customer service through our partners like BAASS here today or others that are part of the Spire network as well. But if you're a Business Vision user, some of this might sound familiar to you, where you're struggling with certain areas in what is now essentially an antiquated system. And there's no doubt that BV was a great software when it was first launched, and for many of you might still be working very well. There's definitely a if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. But it's no longer well supported, as Chuck was sharing with us earlier, as of next year. And depending on which versions you're running, that can be very costly for you to maintain. Spire has had thousands of Business Vision users come over into the Spire world and make that switch. A lot of it is based on the antiquated technology. So just to touch on that very quickly, Spire relied on pervasive version 10 for many, many years. And while recently it had been upgraded to an Actian version 15, there still have been some issues that have arisen with that. And you don't have to take my word for it. It's definitely Googleable, as we say. But if any of these points on the slide deck seem familiar to you, then it might be time to consider a move to Spire. Some of the differences that I want to highlight for you, I don't have time to jump into the software here today, but I did take a few screenshots for you guys. And so some of the differences are list views versus actual lookups. So in Spire, everything in each module is very grid based, if you will. So kind of like we would see in an Excel sheet. And you have the ability to sort your columns, drag and drop them, decide what you would like to see in those columns, as opposed to having to input information into a new screen. So we allow you to sort these columns. We also allow you to export that directly to Excel just by clicking that export button. Whatever you set your grid to look like will come up for you in an Excel sheet. And everybody loves Excel. It's still the most popular accounting software in the world, as they say. And you also have the ability to save these grids as ad hoc, like reports, if you will, or reports that you rely on every day, simple queries and filters that are used. This is really helpful to answer that one quick question that everyone gets. I just have one quick question for you. And in an older system like BV, you might have to kind of drudge through some different modules or pieces of data to be able to answer those questions. Another difference that I'd like to highlight for you is that reports are available in each module as opposed to the report module itself. And so globally throughout Spire, regardless of the module that you're in, you have access to the reports button. And Spire itself comes with almost 200 different built-in management reports. So we've got you covered in all of your basic check specs, invoices, statements, and things like that. And where you do have the need for custom reports, these can be created for you and simply uploaded into the back end, which we call the server administrator in the Spire world. Another difference I'll highlight for you is the drill down capabilities in Spire. And so most of you are used to having to open another module to be able to access information. Well, in the Spire world, there's a lot going on here on your screen here, but I'll walk you through it. In the Spire world, drill down capabilities, again, are a global feature throughout the product. And so one, over here on the left-hand side of your screen, I'll be in the sales module. And two, I have selected a work order, or that could be a RMA, it could be a quote, it could be a standing order or a work order. And then from there at the bottom, I can see the details of all of the items on that work order, whether that be labor or it be inventory. And if I drill down further, I'll launch the inventory module from within, all within sales, to be able to access inventory and review that further. So there's a lot of opportunities to be able to work productively within one module. Another thing I want to highlight, which is a little bit different than what most of the publishers out there are offering, is that Spire is available to you in several options. You can purchase Spire and choose where you want that license to live. You can also subscribe to Spire, and I'll point out that subscription is not mutually exclusive to cloud. Okay, so you can subscribe to an on-premise version, or we do have cloud hosting available as well. I'll get to that. But what I want you to walk away with is that Spire gives you options. Now, whether that option is to have a classic on-premise model, like many of you may have there today, if you are running BV, and if you did want to have a VPN connection set up, as the folks at BAASS said, they are able to provide you with things like that as well. But know that that Spire license can live on premise. It can also be provided cloud hosting. And we also do provide browser-based applications. And this is really handy for those of you who have salespeople on the road and need to be able to quickly access inventory levels or place an order or just visit their customers, especially if you, again, are on the road. That's a super helpful feature. Now, shopping for software is not easy, and I have spent the better part of my career talking to people who are considering a new software, whether they were moving from an antiquated system and looking for something new, or they had invested in something that was overkill and need to reconsider what software they're using. I want to leave you with 4 main points to consider when you are shopping for software. And the first one is the technology. Is the technology current that you're looking at? Does it force you into one particular model, or does it give you options? And then another big important part is productivity. How long is it going to take your team to be equally or more productive than they were before on the old system? And does the software possess your must-haves, your need-to-haves, and your wish-I-could-have functionalities? These are 3 different things. Must-have are things that I have right now that I cannot live without. Need-to-have are the things I don't have that I do need to have in a system to make it more functional. And the wish-I-could-have is probably something later on down the road that would be helpful. And also, what is the value? And the value isn't necessarily the dollar figure, but the usable lifetime value of the software versus the actual cost of the software. And the folks at BAASS can help you take a look at that. Now, the reality is that there isn't one solution that's going to fit everything that everybody needs out there. It's not a one-size-fits-all model, and so Spire has a beautiful application program interface, otherwise known as API, which makes it super easy to connect to Spire. You can look that up on our website. Our API documentation is public. And where you don't need a custom solution and maybe you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel, we partner with all of these great names that you see on your screen right now. Some of these, if you're in the BB world, will look familiar to you as well. So whether you're needing extra CRM, or you're needing more analytical reports, or you're needing credit card processing or sales tax management, we partner with some of the best out there to bring you these solutions. Our clients are predominantly wholesale distribution, light manufacturing, service-based and repair companies as well, varying from all kinds of different sub-industries if you want. But what's in common with all of our clients is they needed a better solution, a more contemporary solution without breaking the bank. And so our clients have seen a significant value in coming to Spire from BV because we really are the only ones out there that will bring over your historical data. So we have a data conversion tool built right in for Business Vision over to Spire, which saves significant time in implementation. We can bring over your historical and your master files, and even bring over your username and password. That's how nicely we convert everything. We've got a very deep understanding of how Business Vision users operate. what their needs are. It's easier to learn. The learning curve is significantly different. Those screenshots that I showed you probably look a little bit familiar to you in terms of navigating through the system. We offer the ability to grow your business, and whether you're coming again from BV or another product at the end of the day, when you're running an antiquated system or something that just isn't up to par, you're actually devaluing your business. And what we see in the business vision world with those coming over to Spire is there's a lot of people who are succeeding their business or looking to sell their business. And running an old system is like trying to sell a house with a shaky foundation or an old foundation. It devalues that for you. So Spire actually helps to elevate the value of your business. You just don't have to take my word for it. As the director of business development here at Spire, I get to monitor where our clients are coming from. And I will tell you that our number one source of new business is word of mouth. And so if you know anybody out there that was running BV and are now running Spire, you can ask them for yourselves. We do have some case studies on our website as well, but I'll invite you to take a look. You can visit spiresystems.com at any time. We also have a YouTube channel that has a plethora of videos on it. They're not sales videos. They're actually short training little videos that give you some nice insight into Spire. And of course, you can contact our friends at BAASS if you do need anything and you are interested in learning more about Spire. Thanks so much for your time, everyone. I appreciate it. Chuck?
Thank you very much, Katie, and some great insight as to the easy process of migrating over to Spire Systems from Business Vision. So at this point in time, I'd like to introduce you to Danielle Kerner. And again, Danielle is the Manager of Partner Sales with Acumatica, the cloud ERP system. And Danielle, if you're all set, we'll turn the presentation over to you.
I am all set. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
You can. Okay, well, great. Thanks, Chuck, and thanks, Katie. That was a great presentation. As Chuck mentioned, my name is Danielle Kerner. I am with Acumatica, the cloud ERP software solution. I am excited to be here today. I always appreciate the opportunity to join our partners and introduce Acumatica to anybody who's interested in learning more about who we are. So with that in mind, I'll go ahead and get started. Acumatica was founded in 2008. And in that founding, we made three very bold bets. We focused on the small to mid-sized organizations and the opportunity within that. At the time, ERP software companies were largely focused on kind of the big fish. And there was, this huge group of organizations that were not being serviced by those ERP software companies. So we really thought that there was an opportunity there, a gap that we could fill. So that was one big bet. The other one was we were going to focus largely, exclusively, in fact, on our partner channel and using partners, local partners like BAASS, to sell and deploy our solutions. So oftentimes ERP software companies rely on some hybrid of that model or a lot of direct sales themselves. And we know from experience that customers really benefit from working with partners like BAASS who get to know your environment well, they get to know your business well, they get to know you well, and the end result is a much better experience with both the implementation and the ongoing use of the application. And our third big bet was focusing on cloud from the onset. So that may not sound very earth-breaking today, but at the time it was. And to have a solution that has no legacy ties is really enabled us to be a lot more nimble, a lot more flexible. We can really be super responsive with our customers because we are 100% cloud-based and have been from day one. So we use this term born in the cloud. That basically means that from the very first line of code that was released to whatever was released perhaps last week, it's all been written and optimized for the cloud. And that makes a big difference in the solution that we provide our customers. We are a global ERP software company. We're headquartered in Seattle. I'm located in Virginia, but our headquarters is on the other side of the country. We've got about 10,000 customers across six continents, and a vast majority of ISV solutions that help round out the Acumatica solution. So we have this commitment to partnering with the best in breed. So we can't be all things to all people, we know that, but we do want to be the very best at providing a comprehensive cloud ERP solution. So we feel that we do that, and then there are ISVs that do a very good job of what they do. So With our technology, we're able to create those integrations more easily, and we've got, as I said, a very extensive group of ISV partners. Almost $250 billion are transacted through our systems on an annual basis. So a lot of heavy lifting goes on there. But I think the thing that we're most proud of, truthfully, is how we partner with our customers. And this net promoter score of a 32 is something that we're extremely proud of. It's the net promoter score is achieved through surveys of our customers, and we do this on a regular basis, on an ongoing basis. Twice a year, we're surveying our customers and getting that feedback. And so you're pretty happy in our industry, in our space, if you're landing somewhere in the teens. And with a net promoter score of 32, we really talk a lot about that, and we're pretty excited about that. I'm wondering how we're going to improve on that, honestly, year over year. But that is a big commitment for Acumatica, and something that is unique in our space. Oftentimes, ERP software companies are less concerned with customers and their happiness. They're really just, once you're a customer, you're a customer for a long time, as many of you know, having run Business Vision for decades, perhaps. So you're really in it for the long haul. And we look forward to partnering with customers and having everybody have a very positive experience with Acumatica. Although we're a global company, we haven't lost our local sensibilities, particularly in Canada. We've got 150 employees in Canada. It's our largest development hub there in Montreal. We partner with lots of software solution providers like the ISVs that I mentioned, as well as VAR partners like BAASS, and focusing on some of the product features that we know our customers in Canada require: Canadian payroll, some reporting compliances. Data resides in Canada. We know that's also important. We partner with the Amazon EC2 environment, and we leverage the Canadian facility for our Canadian partners and localization with the French-Canadian language. So a little bit more on being customer focused. When I joined Acumatica about 5 years ago, I was blown away by this concept, a customer bill of rights. Again, my experience with ERP, which goes on about 20 years now, is you kind of check your rights at the door as a customer. You really do, because you're making this huge commitment, not just financially, but time-wise. And again, you're in it for the long haul. This is not a decision you make lightly. You're going to stick with it for many, many years. And ERP software vendors tend to know that. So they know you're not going to leave anytime soon. And so making sure that you're happy, for lack of a better term, is not all that important to them, but it truly is to us. It's our number one priority, and we state it with this customer bill of rights. Anybody can Google this, Acumatica customer bill of rights, and these are just some core principles that we hold to, and we hold ourselves to. I won't go through all of them, but a couple of them that I think are really critical is transparent and fair pricing. I'll talk about our pricing model, which is unique, but we're also very transparent about our pricing. So there's no hidden costs or hidden fees, which also ERP is known for, unfortunately. The other thing is data ownership. As a cloud software provider, it's important to us that we are very transparent about who owns that data. In our world, our customers own their data. And that seems obvious, but that is not always the case. There are cloud ERP software solutions out there that in the fine print, they own your data. And it really becomes an issue in certain cases when you're trying to migrate off of that solution, unfortunately. So those are just a couple of things that I wanted to highlight. But, of course, like I said, it's all out there. You're welcome to review it on your own and come back to us with any questions you might have. But we have a unique approach to our licensing and our pricing. So again, one of my experiences in ERP is that as a traditional, user or named license model, that can get expensive, particularly as you grow and add users. And so inevitably, customers would find ways to not add users. They would share users, or they would not buy another license. And so somebody's over here using, a spreadsheet, and somebody's over here using something altogether different. And so it just kind of defeats the purpose of ERP. ERP is intended to be a single source of truth, all of the data living in one place. And so that you, the business customer can make better informed decisions in real time. And so that's what having all that data living in a single database does for you. And so if you're cutting costs by eliminating users or not buying licenses, it really does defeat the purpose. So we took the approach, we kind of took it, turned the whole thing upside down and said, how do we do this so that there's no penalty for adding users? So we have an unlimited user license, and people used to say to me before Acumatica at my previous life, how about we purchase and pay for the system based on how much we use it today. And then as we grow and use the system more, we could pay you more. And I thought that was really a great idea, but absolutely no way that anybody was doing that. But Acumatica, in fact, does. So it's based on how much you use the system. And the more you use it and the more you grow, then things are more aligned with where you are as a business. I feel like it is truly a better alignment than a user-based system. So it is much more growth friendly. It is much more flexible, and we feel that it really serves that small to medium sized clientele that we have. So a couple of other industry recognitions that I couldn't resist are for sure our pride and joy is our customer recognitions, but these are some other ones in the industry. It's nice to know that it's nice for us to feel like we're doing a good job and delivering a good solution, but it also is something that we've received a number of accolades and awards for. Are we leaders in our industry from a technology perspective? Are we providing a good solution in the various industries that we serve? And so that this sort of snapshot suggests certainly that we are. So Acumatica technology, at the end of the day, we want to be the best from a customer-centric perspective, but we've got to deliver a really solid, comprehensive solution to our customers. And we do that with enterprise-grade security. That's got to happen in a cloud ERP environment, excuse me. We have to be secure, and we have to always be up. Our system is available on any device, anytime. Which is certainly the way that the world is trending. Shockingly to me, somebody wants to access their ERP on their smartwatch, but they do. And we make that possible, but also security. We are partnered with, as I mentioned, the AWS platform, which is the most secure infrastructure available. So we're, again, partnering with the best of breed there. I mentioned user interface and how we focus on the user experience. This certainly plays a part in that, ensuring that customers feel that the system is intuitive. The leap from where they are to using Acumatica is an easy one to make. It's easy for people to jump in here and understand exactly where they need to navigate. We leverage certainly dashboards. We think that helps to bridge that gap. And also it's modifiable. You can make it look the way that you want it. We're role-based systems so that you can turn on and off the features that you want to see and configure things so that it works for you. We focus on a couple of different industry categories, from manufacturing to construction, distribution, and retail commerce. And so within these various categories, we're focused on providing the solutions for those pain points that you're experiencing. Our core really is distribution. We started off, that was our first edition. We've developed from there, but the distribution edition has been our sort of centerpiece for a long time, and we've got the most robust sort of solutions around our distribution edition. And as I mentioned, we're focused on solving those pain points. In the case of distribution, just to highlight a couple, we focus a lot on AI and machine learning. We know that that is becoming a part of everyday life in a business environment, particularly a distribution business environment, perhaps supply chain planning or lot serial and tracking, traceability, warehouse automation, all of those different things, but also the omni-channel sales. That is, something everyone is focused on, and recognizing that is, if you're not doing it today, it's something that you have to start thinking about and determining how you're going to best tackle that in the future. So again, thanks everybody so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I think we're going to turn it over back to Chuck for Q&A. So with that, I'll turn things over to you.
Thank you very much, Danielle, and Katie as well. We're very grateful that the two of you were able to take some time with us today. And sorry, I just want to make sure everybody can see my screen at the moment.
We can.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. A little technical difficulty there. Anyways, again, very pleased that the two of you could join us today and share with us about your particular solutions. So no doubt we see that these are two viable solutions for Canadian organizations, no matter what industry you're in. We definitely have alternative solutions for you to consider, or if you're simply looking for business vision support or doing upgrades, again, we can help you there. So I just want to complete our webinar today by answering some questions here, and we've got a couple of questions for the group that we can cover off. And the first one actually is for Katie at Spire. The question was around, do you have a payroll system or a Canadian payroll system for Spire?
Yeah, absolutely. Canadian payroll is included in Spire, and it's a full system, right? So everything in your accounting requirements to your operational and what I call utility tools. But absolutely, payroll is available. We issue tax table updates twice a year. Are at the mercy of the CRA with that, as everyone knows. But yeah, absolutely, payroll is available to you.
Very good, thank you, Katie. And this question actually is probably posed for both of you, and maybe Danielle, we'll start with you. If I was to move from Business Vision to your system, just how much time would it take to complete that? And I would assume that they're talking about kind of the duration of the project to migrate to Acumatica.
Sure. So there's lots of variables with any system from a migration perspective, but the average with Acumatica is 3 to 4 months.
Okay, very good. And then Katie, for yourself?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we have a data conversion tool built right into Spire for Business Vision. And so bringing over your historical data, your master files, happens within the day, but the implementation project itself, to echo what Danielle said, there's so many variables in there, and we work closely with folks like yourself at BAASS to be able to really analyze what your requirements are beyond just the data conversion. And so, do you have e-commerce requirements? Do you have specific manufacturing requirements? Are there other third-party applications that you might be running? All these things come into play. And so we've seen BV sites be up and running, within a day at their most simplest form. But then, it can take probably about a month or so, depending on the learning curve and other variables that come into play. So it's really up to certified partners like you guys at BAASS to do a full analysis as to what the specific needs are, but it's fairly quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Katie. And for our listeners today, no doubt there's a difference in those timelines. It's nice that Spire has the ability to convert the data. Yet really the project timeline does come down to the scope or magnitude of the project. In other words, what capabilities of the system that you want to take advantage of. And let's face it, if you're moving from a system like Business Vision that has specific capabilities to a more advanced system like Spire or Acumatica, you're wanting to take advantage of those capabilities, and that does take time. There's change management involved, analysis and design that come into play there, and of course the education and training behind all of that until we get into testing. So there's a number of pieces at play to be able to do that. And for the next question is probably one that I'm best suited to answer, which is what does it cost to do that? As far as making the change. And really you're into two different costs. You've got the software itself that there's a fee for, and then the implementation services, because it's not as simple as installing the software and then making the change and implementing the system itself. So if that's something that you are interested in considering, then we certainly recommend that you reach out to us again through either the contact us page, or you could email us at sales@baass.com, and then we can talk about your specific situation, what it is you're trying to accomplish, what your current challenges are, because we want to ensure that we're going to overcome those issues at hand, and then put together a plan that's going to allow for a comfortable and successful implementation of the new system. Well, we've come to the end of our time, and again, Katie and Danielle, thank you very much for joining us today. Greatly appreciate it. And most importantly, to all of our business users out there, we're grateful that you joined us this afternoon to learn a little bit more about what's going on in the world of business vision, and what your options are for moving forward. So I bid you a great day, and thank you again for joining us. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you
Thanks.
for
Take care.
Thank you for attending BAASS webinar on Welcome Business Vision customers. All attendees will receive a copy of the webinar recording in a follow-up email. To help us improve on future webinars, we kindly ask all attendees to participate in our webinar survey attached in the webinar recording email. Thank you for joining us today.